Do we want to avoid the EV topic today then? Or because the topic I have is EV stuff.
I have EV stuff too.
Dang it!
But I do have something that's not EV related.
Oh, okay.
I have a gift. I have an early Christmas gift for my brother.
Oh,
That's scary.
I do.
oh no.
No, Jen, you'll love this gift because
She'll love it, and it's a gift for me.
she'll love it.
Ooh, this is gonna be
because
fun.
it's directly connected to your well-being.
To my well-being.
Yep. And you don't even know that I have this right now.
I have not.
It is on my person.
Great.
And it is sanitary. I promise it's sanitary. It's in a sealed package.
That was next to his butt.
Yeah, so I need you to close your eyes and put your hands out.
I'd rather not do that. I'd rather
Put
not.
your hands out. And
Put
it's
them
in a
out!
sealed package. It's not going to hurt you. Close your eyes.
Why?
Are your eyes closed?
Unfortunately.
Are your eyes closed?
They're closed.
Unfortunately.
Okay. Now you don't have to choke on your water.
In the arms of the angel.
Wow.
I love you, bro.
Love you too, bro. Well, now I have to use it. So.
Yep. You're welcome. Merry Christmas.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate.
Yeah, well, you know.
I appreciate. Shake and bake.
Shake and bake. You're my best friend, Cal.
You're my best friend. Please don't let the invisible fire burn my friend.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Welcome to Break Check.
We're already getting gifts out of the way.
Right?
What's not a gift is you're going to have to deal with listening to EV stuff again.
More EV stuff.
I'm sorry.
The headline topic is dealerships beg to slow down EV push. Have you heard about that?
Which is really funny.
It is.
Because of the topic that I have.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because my topic, I'm going to tell you my title, and then we'll talk about yours first.
We'll discuss.
How electric vehicles are accelerating the end of the oil age.
Wow.
Controversy.
If the audience hasn't noticed yet.
Huh? Right? Huh?
Let me. Ooh. Ah. Ee.
That's it. I'm not going.
There's your movie quote for the day.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty incredible.
It is
awesome. I didn't do anything to contribute to it other than sit here and utilize it. But Jason and Jen, how awesome. They made this. You can't see the legs, but the legs are incredible too.
Yes.
They're very modern and designed and incredible. And this is real wood. I'm really touching it. This is real.
Sort of. You're touching the polyurethane that's protecting the wood.
That's true. That's true. We have a couple open spots here for future guests.
That's true. We have 2 available spots.
So we have a surprise if we can pull it off.
Yes.
For a week from when you're watching this.
Next week on the 23rd, our plan is to do a live stream for the episode instead of doing a recording.
Live stream.
Live stream Christmas special
with a guest that has been confirmed. We have a confirmed guest.
Nice. Confirmed.
Yeah. She is excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And we have to remove all the pine from the vicinity, right?
The vicinity?
Vincent.
Facility? Facility?
Vicinity.
Yes.
No, there's no N
from the
vicinity.
Facility.
Facility okay.
Words are difficult.
Words. So
vicinity.
Hopefully we can make this work though.
Yeah. If it doesn't work, then we'll cut all this part out and you'll never know.
Yeah. Well, let's get into your topic.
All right. Well, my topic is it disappeared.
Oh.
Mine
but
did
yeah,
not. Yours should be on your computer.
Yeah, my brain sometimes. So,
Auto dealerships
that sell automobiles.
Oh.
There are over 4,000 of them. Well, actually, clarify, nearly 4,000 dealerships throughout the United States have sent a letter to the government asking to slow down the push of EVs.
The American government.
Okay. So the reason is that they can't sell them.
They can't sell them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So There
Like-
are
Did they say why? Like why they're having a hard time selling them?
people. So what dealerships hear from customers is that they're worried about, range anxiety, not having enough power to get where they want to go.
Do you think that those photos where people are stuck on highways in blizzards and ice storms, not going anywhere for hours, do you think that factors into their worry?
I could see that factoring into people's worry. I mean, I'm not going to lie,
Just spitballing here. I don't know if that's ever happened.
right?
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if has anybody ever get stuck in weather like that. I don't know.
Gasoline can run out just like energy in your battery can wear out. However, with current battery technology, the batteries wear out faster. They don't wear out faster, but they drain faster in cold weather because one, the cold affects the charge of the battery, but two, the batteries have heaters to keep themselves warm, and that obviously drains power. So you're going to run out of power faster than you will out of gasoline. And then you also have the problem of if your car runs out of gas and it's stuck on the highway, someone can bring gas to you in a gas can. You can't really do that in an EV. So
Yeah, any EV that you've seen that ran out of power
excuse me.
on a road somewhere, they typically are seen with a semi or a large truck with a generator on the back
Right?
running on fuel or diesel and charging it up.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
What's your idea?
They can bring bags of potatoes with them.
Oh.
I don't. Are you suggesting to put little pieces of metal in the potato yeah, that's not gonna.
Nope, it'll work.
It's not.
Or
it's not
they can
gonna-
bring a crap ton of hamsters with them and
Oh,
have a whole
yeah.
bunch of hamster wheels.
Uh-huh.
and then they can run on the little.
Yeah.
And it helps them stay warm. Every electric vehicle is required to come with an aquarium that has electric eels in it.
Ooh, I like that.
Right?
Technically, you're just changing the type of fuel from gasoline to food for the electric eels. Like, you're still going to need fuel. It's just a different type of fuel.
You know, I was there when you were born. And I'm
Okay.
almost certain that mom and dad did not put the word buzzkill for your middle name on your birth certificate.
I'm just saying.
Stop shooting our horse, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, the air balloon's getting a little high.
Just picture this. An aquarium with electric eels.
That need to be fed.
You're such a realist. You're such a realist.
I regret giving you a straw.
Work with our fantasy, all
Thank
right?
you, bro.
I hope I triggered every Californian with a plastic straw on our show.
I'll reuse it once for them.
Anywho.
So yeah, dealerships have sent a letter asking the current administration to slow down EV adoption because they can't sell them. So apparently there's like over 6 months of supply, according to dealerships, that are just sitting there.
I wonder
Of
if that's
EVs.
going to affect, for the consumer's benefit, the price. Like how much they're willing to take off the price just to sell them.
And that's the
Like,
other.
what's the markup on an EV, like average? Like how much could they actually take off before they're losing money?
Right. I don't know that, but I do know that that's one of the reasons why customers aren't buying them is because of the price. The range anxiety and the price is the main reason why people don't want them. Gasoline vehicles are only like 2 months supply, so people are buying a lot more gasoline vehicles. But the cars that most people are buying are actually hybrids, which
Oh,
actually makes a ton of sense.
right.
Because you get both benefits. You get the efficiency and the silent operation of an electric car, but you can also just put gas in it and
Especially if you
Go
have the
where you want.
option of driving it solely on electric or gas or both.
yeah, like a plug-in hybrid.
Yeah.
Those seem to be the most popular. So there's only about 2 weeks supply of plug-in hybrids and hybrids in general.
About 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's clearly the most popular.
And there's
So I
You
would
know-
be much more apt to doing something like that because
Oh, yeah.
I'm not reliant on one
Right.
or the other.
Yeah, no, completely agree. The only thing that worries me about plug-in hybrids or hybrids in general is the same issue that like the first generation Priuses are having right now, where the batteries go bad and then you can't drive it at all because the computer's just like, well, you could drive off of the gasoline engine, but I'm not going to let you drive off the gasoline engine because the battery's bad. So you need to, do something about that. That's the only bad thing about hybrids, but batteries are good enough that you can expect to get at least I would say 10 years out of them.
Didn't you have a fusion hybrid at one point?
We did.
How was that one operated? Like, how did that combination of the electric and gas motor work?
So in that one, they were both connected to the wheels. So the engine and electric motor are connected to the wheels, and if you're using less acceleration, less throttle, it's just battery powered. Unless the battery's getting low, then the
So
gasoline.
you
will
could
kick
drive it strictly on electric.
if you were careful with the throttle, you could. Mm-hmm.
How far would it go before, like, if you were careful on the throttle and you never engaged the gas engine, how far could you go?
The farthest I ever got to go on purely electric, because I did it just to see, a few miles.
Okay.
Nothing crazy, but plug-in hybrids are actually designed to drive like 50 miles on purely battery, so you can like get to work.
Now, if you were driving on the motor, how did that affect the electric motor? Like, was it still draining on it?
They work together. So if you accelerated hard, it would pull from the battery, and if you were accelerating with like medium power, it would still use the gasoline engine, but a lot of it would go to the battery, and then some of it would go to the wheels.
Because I'm just thinking, if you're out at a dealership and you're shopping for a hybrid,
right?
Some of the questions that I would think about would be, okay, if I'm driving this and I run out of fuel, is there enough energy in the motor to get me a couple miles to the nearest gas station?
Oh yeah.
Or would the battery, be drained enough that I couldn't even go a couple miles?
Yeah, so it would depend on what the state of the charge was in the battery. But yeah, if you ran completely out of fuel, you would have, depending on the size of the battery and how it was designed, most plug-in hybrids have a range of, like I said, about 50 or plus miles.
Yeah, that's good.
So even if you're at half state of charge when you run out of fuel, you're still going to have probably 10, 20 miles to go before you run out of gas. So yeah, I think you'd be okay. Now, in the case of the Fusion hybrid that we had, you only get a few miles out of it. If it ran out of fuel, I would need to find a gas station like now. It just kind of depends on how the vehicle's designed and how big of a battery it actually
But
has.
unless you're on a road trip, like if you're in the city, there's typically a gas station within 3 miles of anywhere you are.
Yeah, pretty close, yeah. So, I mean, overall, like, I agree with the average consumer. I think hybrid right now is the best option because you get the best of both worlds. Maybe in the future when battery technology gets better, electric will be fine. But for now, I think hybrid is the way to go.
Yeah.
You get the benefits of both.
If you're looking to, change it up from the old school, the norm.
Yeah.
That's a really good first step.
Yeah. Personally, I would go plug-in hybrid because just for going to work, you can run completely on electric, no issues.
Isn't that sort of what the Prius was when it came out, or is still?
Yeah, basically. I think that's the idea. So,
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
Oh, okay.
But I believe so. I don't know for sure.
Well, I have on the topic of electric vehicles speeding up or accelerating the end of the oil age.
On the opposite side of
On
the
the
coin.
opposite side of the spectrum. So the U.S. and China, this is on reuters.com, and I don't know, I'll give her a shout out. We have another viewer who is trying to audition for a research department for Brake Check.
Oh.
And so this is not something that I found, so I don't want to take the credit for this. So thank you. You know who you are. I don't know if you want your name out there, but thank you. We're using it. You'll see it. America and China are the two number one consumers of oil in the world.
Right.
Of all the oil in the world, America uses about 10% of all of it.
Yeah.
On average, there's about 105 barrels per day. 105 million barrels.
I was like,
I was gonna
whoa,
say
that's
100.
really low. That's
Yeah.
okay. And then you're like,
Well, I remember the number 105, and
Yeah.
I just assumed people would.
I was like, we're
million, obviously.
We're super efficient with our oil in America.
Right.
105 million barrels per day
Right.
are used for fueling vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Of the 105, America uses about 10% of that. They're estimating because of the electric vehicles, because they're expanding in America and in China, much faster in China, and I'll tell you why in here in a second.
Right.
But because of that, they're estimating that barrel consumption could drop as low as 5 million per day by 2040
From 105 million
to 100 million.
Oh, so,
Yeah, so they
it
can
would drop
save-
by 5 million.
Yeah,
Okay.
drop by 5, not
Okay.
to 5 million.
Right. I was going to
Um,
say, that's a massive drop.
Yeah. But here's on the point of electric vehicles not selling in America as well as they want them to.
Mm-hmm.
In China, the average electric vehicle is about $33,900.
Okay.
That's the average price. So 34 grand for an electric vehicle in China.
Okay.
In America, the average electric vehicle more than $53,000.
Sounds about right.
So it's more than almost $20,000 more. It's 19 grand more
Dang.
for the average.
Yeah.
And so in China, it says here, let me find it. The cheapest EV in China was 8% less expensive than the cheapest gasoline powered vehicle.
Wow.
So you can get an EV for 8% less than a gas powered.
Right.
In America, the average EV is around 5,000 more than the cheapest gasoline powered vehicle.
Wow.
So in America, people are wanting EVs,
Right.
but you're charging $5,000 more on average
Yeah.
than an electric. How is that? Like, if you're wanting to push the EV thing,
right.
if that is your goal, you're like, man, we want to save the environment. We want to save this. We want less pollution
Yeah.
on operating vehicles, not in the process of making them. That's a whole different topic.
It is.
But in the operation of vehicles that are on the road, if your goal is to do that, why are you not mandating these dealerships or these manufacturers? Why are you allowing them to make them average $5,000 more than the cheapest gasoline powered vehicle?
Yeah.
Where China is like crushing it because they're cheaper and they're actually selling more and faster. The other thing is China has like 1.2 million charging stations,
Yeah. That's another big one.
whereas America has about 52,000.
Wow.
Like, we're not
There-
even a
Yeah.
dent. Like 52 grand to 1.2 million.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of pathetic.
Like, it's possible.
right.
And China's proven, and I'm not an advocate for electric vehicles. What I'm doing is I'm just trying to shed light on the fact that if you state you have a goal, like what America is stating they have this goal of,
right.
why aren't you putting forth the proper effort to support that goal? You know?
Yeah.
Because if you directly compare the two number one consumers of oil, one of them is clearly doing what they said they wanted to accomplish, and the other
Yeah.
one is just like, this is just lip service. We just want you to, we're going to tell you that we are, but our actions are not going to support it.
Right.
That's really annoying to me.
Right. I mean, you could make the argument that, our current administration, what was it, the Renewal Act or something?
New Green.
Like New Green Deal and
Something
like
like that.
a couple of the things that they've done. Like, you could make the argument that they are pushing to catch up by doing that sort of stuff because they're trying to push America to build more EV charging stations and stuff like that, which, by the way, some companies are. So Shell and BP actually have both fairly recently bought into EV charging, and they're going to start rolling out EV charging at their gas stations. So some of the bigger players in the gas industry, I guess, are starting to come on board for putting a EV charging at their stations, which will be very helpful because they're already in strategic places to stop and fill up your car.
Right.
And they already have stores there with restrooms and all that sort of stuff. So that could be a big game changer.
It could be.
For the EV market. But I think the big problem, the reason why EVs aren't being adopted is because range anxiety, there's nowhere to charge them, and they're too expensive. They're like, if you want people to try a new technology where it's going to inconvenience them, it's going to be less convenient for them to operate this on a daily basis, then you're going to have to make it price competitive.
And you're going to have to say a lot more to convince someone to be like, hey, this is just growing pains. It's the beginning of this new era.
Right.
Just deal with it. You're going to have to do more than that.
Yeah.
Right.
Because people are going to be like, well, you can deal with the growing pains. I'll just don't want
Keep
to.
doing what I've been doing that's
Yeah.
worked for me my whole life.
Yeah. Why would I want to change and
I'll wait
inconvenience
until you
myself?
figure it out, and then I'll get on board.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like you have to incentivize people beyond just saying help
Yeah.
the planet. It's like, I'm sorry to say this, but most people care about the planet, but not enough to inconvenience their own life.
Right.
That's just
It's a-
kind of the reality.
It's like a
of,
weird juxtaposition of the whole thing. It's like,
Yeah.
I care about this. I want to be a good steward of the earth, but I'm more selfish. I want to
Yeah.
make sure I'm comfortable, and I'll do it when it's convenient for me. Right
Right.
now, my convenience is outweighing your convenience.
Yeah. And that's actually one thing that I do appreciate about Elon Musk. I mean, he makes a lot of questionable decisions and some people don't like him. I like what he has done, though, with the EV market because he has recognized that people care about, themselves even before the planet.
Yep.
So Elon has created a company where he can make it to where, like, if you buy like the Model 3, it's not that much more expensive. I mean, it's still
Right.
expensive, but it's way more price competitive than any other electric car in its class.
Right.
And it is comfortable. It has a lot of cool features. Like, he has made it to where you actually want to go EV and get a Tesla because he's made it compelling. He's made it
Right.
interesting, made it fun.
He's done something that very few people in the history of humankind have been able to do, where someone that's usually has the mind of an Elon Musk usually have a hard time with like social dynamic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And people who are really, really, what's the word I'm looking for? Like charismatic. People who are
yeah.
really charismatic socially,
Have a silver
you have a
tongue.
hard time with the mindset of an Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And so he is like sort of, I mean, not to play on words, but in a funny way, he's like a hybrid himself. He's able to relate to that, genius side mind
Yeah.
while still taking in the social, aspect of it.
That's true. That's true. It's a good way to put it. As we all, I think, kind of know, is EVs never really meant anything until Tesla came on board. And Tesla is
Right.
really what has kind of pushed this whole thing forward. So it really took someone who had the desire and the passion to make a change in the world, and then he understood enough about humanity and how society works to do it in a way where people actually cared enough to
Yeah.
to buy the product.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like Elon for what he's done, but
I like Elon. I mean, I don't know the guy personally, obviously.
right. But I like what he's done.
He's
with
one
his
guy
companies.
that, I probably isn't watching this.
Most likely not.
But I know we know a lot of people that do.
Oh,
Right.
totally.
But no, I respect what I've seen from him.
Yeah.
What's been presented to me anyway.
Right.
To give you an idea on how much people who claim to be concerned for the global warming, right now global EV sales make up about 13% of all vehicle sales.
Which has gone up quite a bit actually from a few
Yeah.
years ago.
The department that does environmental research that provides all this information, they said that in order to reach their goal of not increasing global warming beyond what we're seeing that they perceive as being dangerous,
Right.
that percentage would have to get up to about 70% by the year 2030. So you need to like severely incentivize people.
Yeah.
If you want to raise it by 57% in the next 6 years, because it's almost 2024 now,
Right.
you got to do something better than just give them a $7,500 tax credit.
Yeah. And
You got to get prices below gas-powered vehicles or the same at least.
yeah, and that's kind of the big problem right now is like California and other states too, for that matter. There's actually several states that have mandated that by 2035 or 2030, 2035, that, no more, that they're not going to allow any more gasoline vehicle sales. So that's the push that they're trying to make, but
Support it.
it's like,
It
yeah,
has
exactly.
to start now. You can't just do it at the day it's needed.
It's like, the thing is if you try to force people to do this, what you're going to cause is people fighting back because there's no good reason for me as an average person to get an electric vehicle. They're more expensive. They're more difficult to deal with.
There's nowhere to charge
I have
it.
nowhere to charge them. Like you said, what happens if I get stuck in a snowstorm? It's like there's no good incentive for me to go electric. So I know that people are trying to solve these issues. People are trying to solve the battery issues. People are trying to solve the charging issues.
I'm rooting for him too.
Yeah, I hope they do. Like,
Yeah.
I genuinely see a good future for electric vehicles. There's a lot of cool things you can do with electric vehicles, like the Honda thing where the wheels can turn and it can rotate.
Hyundai did it. Yeah, they've
Hyundai.
got an electric. I think it's the Ioniq.
Yeah,
Where if you haven't seen this, they've got all four wheels that can pivot 90 degrees. So you don't have to parallel park by driving forward or backwards. You can just like
crab walks into the
crab walk it perfectly sideways. It's pretty awesome looking. You can do a perfect circle spin.
Yeah,
In control, unlike the Rivian, so it wouldn't be as fun,
right.
but you can do it.
Yeah. And so there's so much you can do with electric EV vehicles, but there's a lot of hurdles that need
Yeah.
to be overcome. And at best, America's on the back foot and they're trying to push for a relatively short timeline. So
Yeah.
the electrical network needs to be upgraded for the entire country. Charging stations need to be built and need to be optimized because a lot of times people who have EVs go to charging stations and they don't charge. They don't work. They break down all the time. So charging networks need to be figured out. Electrical systems need to be upgraded. There's so much that needs to be done, and they're putting such a strict time limit on it. It's like we really got to pick up the speed here, otherwise.
Another angle that we have I haven't mentioned yet, but we talked about a few weeks ago is GM, Ford, and Stellantis. They're slowing their EV production because of the rising labor costs. That we talked about, the UAW strike where they wanted all this higher pay.
Yeah.
Awesome. But like this is one of those domino effects.
Exactly.
That yes, awesome. Higher pay is great.
Yeah.
But as a result, now the cost of the vehicle is going to be higher.
Yep.
And
And
so you
cost of
can't-
development.
Yeah, you can't have this and that. It's going to be a give and take.
Right.
It's compromise. You have to think about how this is not going to. Like I said, it's driving beyond your own dashboard.
Yeah.
If you're only thinking about what's happening in your vehicle, you don't care about what happens on the outside. And then what happens on the outside, you're like, how did this come to be? Well,
Right.
it's because you're not considering the effect of your action.
Yeah. So
Cause and effect.
yeah. So I mean, again, I understand and I agree with raises. Excuse me.
You have a straw, bro.
I know that was just a burp,
Oh, okay.
Oh.
but
Straw works.
it does. But I understand that raises are a good thing. Inflation is a very real thing and people need raises. Like, I understand that. However, the UAW asked for so much beyond just a
Right.
raise that, yeah, it cost the auto companies like hundreds of millions
But
of
speaking
dollars.
of cause and effect, they needed that much because the cost of living has gone up so much.
Yeah.
So that is an effect of another cause.
Right.
Like everything, there's a cause for everything.
Yeah.
Nothing or something can't come out of nothing.
Right.
And what's sad now, they're getting laid off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are getting laid off now.
Yeah.
So it's like great, you got more money, but now you're out of a job because I mean, one, people aren't buying as many vehicles. Although automotive sales have stayed relatively steady, but it's
Overall, though, not any
Yeah.
not any sales that they're hoping to push in order for their goal for the future.
right.
It's like
Like-
standing in a room full of where every wall is made of bulletproof material,
Uh-huh.
and you're like, all you think about is, oh, it's cool to shoot this gun, and you fire the gun off, not thinking about the bullet ricocheting over and eventually hitting you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, all you think about is this. And, that was fun. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm still safe. Well, meanwhile, eventually you're gonna get smacked. Or we should do this. Would be a fun game.
Okay.
Or like people. Have you seen they do that game where they put the water bottles on a fan and they blindfold everybody?
Oh, yeah.
It's like that. This is gonna be a lot of fun until you're the one getting smacked by the water bottle.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say that would hurt.
Yeah.
I've not heard of that game.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Have you seen the videos of this?
Yeah. Such a dumb game. But it's
like
funny
four
to see
people
other
like
people
standing
do
around
it.
in a
Yeah,
circle.
it's funny to watch other people
blindfolded.
do it.
Yeah, and the water bottle hanging from a fan blade.
Yeah, and they're blind.
And they just turn the fan on, they just stand there. Whoever gets hit gets hit.
Great.
Yeah.
It's like those
But we're the people blindfolded,
yeah.
and the
And-
people running the show doing all this stuff, they're the ones turning the fan on
Yeah,
and
they're
off.
the ones standing in the corner flipping the fan on and
Yeah.
off, watching everybody else.
We're like
get
in the
smacked,
Hunger Games of automobile world.
right? Basically.
It's been a pretty heavy episode so far.
It has.
Yes. It's a hard to digest
It
episode.
is. It's because it's stuff that directly affects each of us
True.
individually as Americans, as people in the world. I mean, we can get something on the lighter note, some fun stuff. I have another, fun, interesting road trip topic if you want.
Okay.
Road trip hacks that'll save your sanity.
Save your sanity.
Yeah, I know we've done this a couple times over the last few weeks about, you might be traveling during the holiday season, but, there's a few weeks of, pointless time between Christmas halftime meal and Christmas where you just kind of hanging around.
Right?
So if during that time, that is when you're looking to drive around, here's some road trip hacks that'll save your sanity, especially if you have children, which you don't. So, you guys have to deal with Petey now.
We have to deal with PD, yeah.
And
Petey is a
maybe
good pigeon,
puppy
though.
in the future.
He's a good pigeon.
We might end up
A
getting
puppy.
a puppy next year,
Oh.
maybe.
Oh. Okay, so I've got 23 road trip hacks. We don't have to go through all 23, but
Right.
or we can go through them real rapid. But 23 road trip hacks that'll save your sanity.
Okay.
Number 1, give the kids the map.
Oh,
Give them a
w-
physical map that they can look at or draw on or something. All right, number 2, bring enough headphones for each kid.
That's just
Shut
to keep
up! Listen to this.
I was gonna say, that's just to keep them quiet.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Number 3, surprise observations. During the trip, have each person write down an observation or memory from the day. No.
They can make that memory into an ornament. So every year for Christmas, you can put it on your tree.
Wow, you sound like a Hallmark movie.
Uh-huh.
Number 4, use a shower caddy for mess-free eating. It says, tired of balancing lunch on your lap? Give each kid and yourself a caddy so that meals are contained in one neat place. So I'm guessing it has to be a certain design of shower caddy.
Yeah. let me
Right,
look up
probably.
Because in
these.
my mind, I'm picturing one that hangs from your shower head.
That's what I was
and
thinking
it's
too.
vertical and long.
Like, wait a second.
Here you go, put your food on this, kiddo.
Put it around your neck.
We should do that.
Put it
What's
around
the
your
best
neck.
shower caddy to use for eating on a road trip?
We
we
should.
just use different shower caddies.
People will be like, why are you guys doing this? I'd be like, hey, it was from
Yeah.
a blog.
Tinybeans.com is where this list is at.
Yeah, so we're going to do what they say.
All right. Number 5 is stash plastic cutlery and napkins in the glove box.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't already do that,
You're
You're not prepared for
Yeah.
your trip.
are you even a driver, bro?
Right.
a loser.
Number 6, make a killer playlist. Yeah, duh.
Duh.
Killer playlist. Number 7, beat the sniffles. You might actually, I don't know if you might already do this one. Use a rubber band to lash a full tissue box to an empty one. Use the empty box to be the disposal of the
Oh,
used
yeah.
tissues.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Number 8, make up some car bingo. Purchase a stack of ready-made car bingo games. This doesn't say to exclude the driver, so even if you're a driver, you can play bingo.
All right.
So we'll go the simple route by making a checklist of cool things you see on the road. First person to fill up the checklist gets to pick where you stop for dinner.
Oh.
Number 9, hang a shoe organizer on the back of each front seat so you can put snacks and books and whatever in.
That's smart.
Yep.
I like that.
Number 10, kick off your shoes. Many kids like to take their shoes off, let them, but have a bag handy to stash the shoes or keep them by the door of your RV.
Heck yeah.
And make sure they do it early so their feet aren't sweaty and stinky,
Yeah.
especially boys.
Bring an extra pair of socks for their sweaty feet.
Extra pair of socks.
Mm-hmm.
Or like some foot spray.
Mm.
Download Sit or Squat. It's an app that you'll be able to scout clean bathrooms on your route.
That's actually pretty handy. Yeah.
It's an
that's
app
really
called
handy.
Sit or Squat, not a paid product
Sit
placement.
or squat. I'm going to look that up right now. Sit or squat.
Are you planning a road trip soon?
No.
Oh, you just want to know where the
To
clean bathrooms
Buc-ee's.
are? To Buc-ee's.
To
Yeah.
Buc-ee's.
We should do all this when we're going on our way to Buc-ee's.
That would be
test
fun.
out
yeah.
every one of these.
That would be.
When
a
are we
good-
going to Buc-ee's? Let's just
We should just set a
let's
date. to do it.
plan. Yeah, at least like a time frame.
Yeah.
Could we do it probably
Maybe-
more towards spring so we don't have to
Others-
worry about like snow and ice or
Yeah.
Yes,
maybe
definitely.
like March.
We get better lighting for recording it and the
Yeah.
whole thing.
What do you
I
think? What do you think? March, April?
March will still be kind of cool.
Yeah, maybe early April time.
April. Yeah. I can't find sit and squat. Sit and squat?
Sit or squat.
Sit or squat. I put sit and squat.
So in other words, are you willing to sit on the toilet or just squat over it? Are you a hoverer or a rester?
I found a squat or not.
Oh, this
Or
just
a
says
flush-
download sit or squat.
Oh, flush toilet finder and map.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not finding sit or squat.
Hmm.
Wow.
Wow, thanks, Tiny Beans. I guess I don't recommend that one. It could also be an Android.
Oh, it could be. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be an Android app.
As general advice, Love's gas stations are usually almost always trustworthy.
Loves, pilots are okay. Flying J's are okay.
Yeah.
Loves are usually pretty clean.
Yeah, Love's, if you can find a Love's, is I think
hear-
your best bet.
I hear mythical tales of Buc-ee's bathrooms.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They're not mythical, my
Have you been-
friends.
have you been
They
to one?
are real unicorns.
Have you been to a Buc-ee's?
Yes.
We have.
Oh, yes. We went when we
I've
were
never
visiting my
been.
friend Tiffany in Louisiana.
Okay. Number 12.
Okay.
Chuck garbage into a plastic cereal container or old wipes box. So instead of having, you always use like a plastic bag from the
Yeah.
store.
I was gonna say, yeah, you stop at the gas station, grab snacks, use the bag that they put the snacks in as your trash bag.
Pack clothes in stackable laundry baskets instead of suitcases. Number 14. For impatient travelers, which you're traveling at a speed. It's gonna take the same amount of time.
Yeah.
And it's okay, officer. I'm just impatient. I wasn't speeding.
Yeah. It says for impatient travelers, use sticky note time tabs. Here's how it works.
Huh?
Write increments of time. Example 1:15, 2:15, 3:15. So write increments of time on sticky notes and adhere them to the center console below the clock. Kids pay attention to when the time clock matches the sticky note. When they notice it, you remove the sticky note and then give them a surprise if you're feeling generous.
So you give
I
them
guess
a
it's kinda-
prize if they didn't moan and groan.
It seems like if you have like severe issues with not having your mind occupied with something,
Yeah.
then you could put these sticky notes and then you can actually have like a physical thing to see your progress.
Right.
Because if you're just staring at a road and you don't feel like you're making a lot of progress,
Mm.
especially if you're driving through the Midwest.
Right.
And so if you have a sticky note and you know it's going to take you 8 hours and you put every hour increments, you have 8 sticky notes. And as you remove them, you're like, man, I've really knocked down that stack of sticky notes.
Yeah. So
I
it's
guess
like
it's that.
maybe it's like a mental game to keep your mind.
Or just develop some mental strength and fortitude.
Yep. There's that too. I would do that one.
Set your mind. You're going on a road trip.
Right.
Set your mind to the reality of it.
Yeah. You know you're going to be driving for 8 hours, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Jen, you will love this one.
Oh.
Organize a glow stick dance party while driving at night.
Oh.
I mean, nothing says distract the driver
I would hate
than
that.
having a
perfectly-
glow stick dance party rocking in your car while driving at night.
There's
People would see my Filipino side come out immediately.
I thought you would love that one.
Oh yeah, totally.
it's totally fine when you're driving at night and every glare blind in your windshield blinds you.
Yeah, why not
It's
balance it out with glares from behind you?
Yeah, just have more glares.
Uh-uh. Mm-mm. Mm.
Just
It's
think of the greatest Harry Potter techno dance track.
Right.
Number 16. Cover your seats with a fitted sheet to protect them from stains and things.
Yeah.
Stains and crumbs.
Especially with
Make
kids.
cleanup easier. Yeah.
Number 17. Make edible necklaces for the journey.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
String
you can-
flavorless floss with things like cereal, grapes, and pretzels.
It's good.
I was gonna say, can't you just buy candy necklaces that already do that?
Yeah, but that's bad for your teeth. This is cereal,
Right,
grapes,
yeah.
and pretzels.
It's better. It's better sugar.
Number 18. Get snap happy.
What?
Give the kids disposable cameras or old smartphones. If you're one of those people, you just have old smartphones just
Yeah, you
hanging
just-
around.
You
yeah,
know.
everyone's got a few $1,000s with their old.
I like the
smartphones laying
disposable
around.
cameras though. You can give the kids disposable cameras so they can take pictures of what you're driving by for a travel log.
It'd be fun if you had the means
Which-
to get all your kids like Polaroids that like print them in.
Oh, that'd be
in
cool.
place.
Yeah, you can get
That
those.
could be fun.
I like the idea of disposable cameras because then the kids can feel the pain that we had is about, I don't know if I took a good picture or not.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's true. It's like we're
And
going
then-
old school for this trip,
And
kids.
then you have to wait to get it developed to
Yep.
see.
Yep.
Like,
And then
oh, you don't talk about the anxiety. Kids think they have anxiety now.
right.
Oh, and
You're
then
like,
they
what?
have to
Imagine.
what is
You
that
gotta,
wheel?
You know, wind
Yeah.
it.
You gotta
Yeah.
wind it.
And then if you don't,
Yeah.
and then if you don't wind it all the way, you half expose two different
Uh-huh.
two different images.
Have you ever had a disposable camera so long that you're like, oh man, there's still like 4 pictures left on this, but I don't remember what the other 14 were. And then you take out the 4 pictures and you go to get developed. And you're like, man, I hope there wasn't anything incriminating in those other 14 pictures. And then you're
Yeah.
surprised, you're like, oh, okay, I'm
Hey.
safe.
Yeah, because the thing is that somebody developed those photos for
And
you,
looked at every
and
one
they
of them.
saw every photo you took.
The next one. This one seems like something that Uncle Eddie would do. I wouldn't do this one. I don't. It says, let the creative juices flow.
Oh,
Instead of Play-Doh that can get stuck in floorboards, bring along a roll of aluminum foil. Both can, and a box of pipe cleaners. Both can be molded into shapes, animals, and skyscrapers.
We should do that on our road
What?
trip.
Here's some aluminum foil. We have to if we're doing this
I was
list.
gonna say, yeah, that's. But aluminum foil can be sharp.
You know,
Like it can cut you.
yeah, those kids are gonna like taking a bite of it, like, try that. Take a bite.
Yeah. What if you're driving along and you hear in the back seat, Mom, Jimmy stabbed me. Oh yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine. Mom, there's red stuff coming out of my stomach.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How sharp? How like thick and sharp did you make that aluminum foil?
I don't know. It's inside me now. Number 20. Nip car sickness in the bud. If you or your kiddo gets nauseous from reading on the road, simply tilt your head from side to side for it to go away. Just try it.
What? I need to try that.
I was gonna say you get car sick.
I get so car
You know,
sick when I
Tilt your
read.
head from side to side to make it go away. I feel like that would just give you a headache.
When I was, because there's fluid in in your ears, and so sometimes if it gets overfilled or if it causes the hair in your ears to go down, that's what gives you misbalance or vertigo and things. And so a lot of times if you get some sort of ear infection, that's why you get dizzy, because it's swelling up. The fluid has got pressure on it. It's not normally there. And so, but this one, it just, to me, it seems funny that I just want to see people doing this inside of cars. When I was flying, we would get people like new air crew on the plane that would get sick. There was 3 things that we would tell them to do, and it worked every single time. Is 1, get close to the window and stare at the horizon, so you can get, because a lot of times you get disoriented. In a car, that's not a big deal because the windows are big enough you can see the horizon.
Right.
The other thing is Sweet Tarts candy or ginger snap cookies. It settles your stomach. So if you get nauseous and your stomach's getting upset, ginger or Sweet Tarts will settle it down.
Because the ginger.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's why I would
Well,
like
I've heard
ginger
of-
ale. It
Yeah.
helps your tummy. and
I've heard of
7-Up.
like ginger before, but sweet tarts though, that's a new
Sweet tarts
one.
is a new one.
Yeah, like chewy
Yeah.
Sweet Tarts.
Chewy
Wonder what's
sweet
in
tarts.
Sweet
Yeah.
tarts.
It could be either or, but chewy ones work better.
We need-
best because it's that that taste, the flavor.
I don't want to try this.
Don't want to try the getting car sick?
Because I'm the one that's going to get car
I was gonna
sick.
say, you're the one that's got to test
Do you
it. So.
get car sick?
I do. When I start reading,
She does.
I read like a
Oh.
line or two. Gone.
If I'm in the passenger seat reading, I get car sick. If I'm not reading, I'm fine.
Okay.
Or what's weird if I'm driving and reading, which I don't ever do, I'm fine too. Next on the list, when you see a fun road stop, stop.
But what if
It's
you're
like if
trying
you
to
see something on the road, that's how memories are made. If you're the planning type, visit roadtrippers.com to map out a few awesome layovers. If you're trying to make good time, then I think you're putting too much stress on yourself.
Yeah.
Like a few years ago when I took the family to Disneyland, went to California, I didn't want that to be, because it's like if you just go nonstop, it's a little over 22 hours.
long drive.
It's a long drive. And I've done it a few times, but I enjoy driving. Like that didn't bother me to do that.
Right.
But with the family, with 7 people in the car, I was like, okay, I don't want to have this thing so planned out that every hour of every day we have to do this, because then you're putting unnecessary stress and anxiety.
It's not much of a vacation.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, it was 1,393 miles. I know that because it was part of the kids didn't know what the trip was, so every week I gave them a clue,
right.
so they could guess it. And one of the clues was 1,393. So it's from our driveway to Disneyland.
Right.
And so I planned it out. It was like 2.5 day road trip. I was like, we're gonna do like 6 to 7 hours a day, and then we'll stop. We'll see some stuff on the way. I found different stopping points, and it made it so much more enjoyable. It made the time go by us so much faster.
Yeah.
Because you had breaks and stops, and it just filled the time.
Yeah.
Number 22, pack a potty.
Pack a potty.
Pack a potty.
I don't want to pack a.
Not a pack of potties.
I don't want to pack a.
Pack a potty.
I don't want to pack a
But
potty.
this is an important road trip hack if you've got potty trained littles. That's what this says.
Potty trained little. Oh, it actually says that. Okay.
Open and lay a disposable diaper into the bottom of a toddler potty. If you've got miles to go before the next rest stop, pull over and let them use this. So the diaper will soak up a number 1 and contain a number 2 until you find a proper
Ew.
spot for disposal.
Gross.
That's what I want
So
in
is
my
it
car
saying-
is a bucket of
Oh,
poo.
so it wants
That's what I want.
Until
in
you
my
can
car.
properly dispose. Properly disposing is the side of the highway.
Just hold the kid outside the window.
If
and be
your
like, here
kid
you go,
is-
go for it.
If your kid is so if your child is so young that they can't hold it until the next stop, or if you're not forward thinking enough as the driver to force them to go,
Right?
that's kind of on you. That's really your own hell that you've created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But
Um,
to have a child's
Ew.
Uh,
Gross.
to have a child's porta potty or a child's potty
mhm.
and then keep it in the car or in the trunk or wherever, what have you, until you get to the next rest stop.
Well, should we take our exit?
Our exit?
Our exit?
Are we throwing axes
No.
at something?
Are we taking our exit?
We could throw axes at stuff.
What the fuck? Okay, no, we're taking our exit right now.
We're taking the okay. We've
Yeah, because we
the
got to go find our
navigator-
axes.
The navigator's been told us to take our exit.
GPS said turn right here. So we got to
Take
take
your
our
exit
Yeah.
right
Hey, look,
here.
it's an axe store.
It's an axe store on this exit.
Oh gosh.
Here we go.
Goodbye, everybody.
Don't forget, like, subscribe, share.
Oh,
And we have social media now. Not that there's really anything on it yet.
and when you subscribe, press that little bell thingy, and you will get notifications when we make new videos.
Yep. Which
Yeah.
right now is every Saturday morning they come out.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
And if we can go live, we'll be live on the 23rd
At 10 o'clock.
with an unannounced guest,
Yeah.
but it's a female.
Yeah.
True. And I'm excited and terrified for that at the same time
Yeah.
Why?
to go live.
Something's gonna go wrong, but just work with us.
Why? We do so well with our recordings that why would being live cause any issues?
Why was there delay in your words?
Yeah.
I'm not
Richard?
worried. There's not any concern on my part.
Goodbye, everyone.